Hello, welcome to JavaScript Fundamentals tutorial. In our previous tutorial just before this very one, we looked at how to define functions and of course invoke functions. That formed the basis for this particular tutorial, which is on form elements, and basically we are going to talk about the button form elements. Now the button form elements actually the type of elements that you can include in a form that would allow you to perform certain actions like clicking the button and of course getting a feedback. So this particular button is idle at the moment, meaning it has nothing to do when you click, as you can see. So but at the end of this session, you are going to understand how you can make this function to work. So without wasting any much time on that, I would like to show you around what we can do with this function. Now, first of all, we have used the button element to create a function. And of course, in this button element, we have an ID attribute here and with the text, button text. So over to the JavaScript file, which is the script.js, and we have included it. And let's go over here to implement what we have done. We are going to be using the concept called event handlers. Now, an event handler is more like a kind of way for you to, take advantage of what happens on a web page, like clicking a button, moving a mouse, and things like that. So we have three approaches that we are going to be delving into. And the very first approach is to use the inline event handler. For us to use the inline event handler, we need to include an onclick event property. Always remember an onclick event property, and we call a function. Now the function we want to call is say hello. Now make sure you call the function explicitly by enclosing with this double quotes, parenthesis. So having called this function, let's implement this function and see what it looks like. I had already written a code somewhere, so I'm quickly going to type in the code. Now let's look at our browser to see what it gives us in return when we interact with this form. I refresh the browser and click say hello. As you can see, nothing is happening. I think something is wrong with my code. So what I'm going to do quickly is to go to the code and check what exactly could be wrong with the code. So I have this say hello. All right, which is my function. I need to make sure they're the same. Okay, now this is also say hello, right? So say hello, and it still say hello. Okay. Now let's try again to check whether everything is working perfectly well right now, which I hope it should. It's not working. Something is wrong somewhere. So I need to make sure that everything is working perfectly well. Right? Okay, what could be wrong with this? Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry, the onclick event is actually supposed to be an attribute on the button. And please, don't mind my errors. So, we have made the changes. Let's look at our browser. Everything should work perfectly well now. So as you can see, hello world comes out. So the next very approach we are going to take will be to use the onclick property. Before I use the onclick property, I need to make this I need to comment this out. And of course, I have to go back to my web page, HTML page, and remove this onclick attribute. Now, the essence of this is that we need to dynamically add this onclick attribute here. So how do we add this? We are going to do it by, first of all, having a variable to get that particular element. What element are we getting? The button element by its ID. So when we get this element, we add the onclick button and assign it this function to execute. So now, to make things a little bit different, I have added a few things here so that you will know this is specifically coming from the onclick. Think is onclick, not click, onclick property. All right. So having done this, let's look at what it should give us in our browser. Let's refresh. And when we click say hello, as you can see, we have hello world from onclick property. Okay. So the very next one we are going to look at will be the use of addEventListener, which is recommended. All right. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to dive into the explanation of why we need this. But for now, I will have to comment out this. And I comment it out, and I have to first of all start by making use of this. Before I start, I will copy this because I think I need it at this time. All right. You grab the element by its ID. Now, having grabbed the element by its ID, then I will append to the element, okay, this addEventListener. What event am I actually adding? The type of event is click. So whenever something is clicked, and I will have to add a function, which is anonymous in this case. All right. And I can include almost a similar thing, or better still, I think I will copy this one and dump it here. Okay. But I will have to use addEvent. I use addEventListener method. Okay. From addEventListener method. Okay. All right. So I'll save, and let's go ahead and refresh our page to check whether we're going to get something, nice based on what we've done so far. When I click say hello, as you can see, everything works perfectly well. So this is it for button, how to actually use functions to manipulate buttons. So if you have any particular video you want me to make, or maybe a particular concept beyond our series, or even about the series that you don't understand deeper, then you can always feel free to, reach out to me. Then we do something about that. For now, make sure you subscribe, and you can share and click the notification bell so you'll take the advantage of being among the first to get notified whenever we post these kinds of videos. So for now, thanks for watching, and see you in my next tutorial. Bye.